This is the first camp I can enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
A lot of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill-wise and technique-wise, he's been doing this for so long.
In this fight, I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweight.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis, a matchup nobody saw coming. Two stars from completely different worlds are stepping into the same ring. Both men are determined to prove they belong among the best, and the excitement surrounding this fight is absolutely real.
It's night and day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that, and my body filling out, I just feel amazing and feel super strong.
Jake Paul has been very vocal about his preparation for the Davis fight. He claims this is the hardest he's ever trained, bringing serious talent into his camp. Jake even boasts about dropping opponents during sparring sessions. He's invited Shakur Stevenson to help him prepare for the Tank showdown, a move that shocked many. For once, Jake also showed humility, admitting that Tank Davis is dangerous. People often underestimate Tank because of his size, calling him too small for a fighter like Jake. But Jake disagrees completely, acknowledging Tank's knockout power in both hands. He knows Tank hits like a truck, despite his shorter frame. When Jake admits he's nervous to share the ring with Tank, it speaks volumes about his respect for Davis's power and skill. This isn't just hype. It's real fear mixed with real respect.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure. For sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages in
90 something percent, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives, but we're really focusing on speed, and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Many fans still don't realize how tough Tank Davis's journey has been. Since the early days of his career, Tank has sparred against heavyweights, not just big men, but skilled, technical ones. Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult revealed that Tank didn't just survive those sessions, he dominated them, punishing men much bigger than himself. If Tank can handle experienced heavyweights in the gym, a cruiserweight like Jake Paul won't intimidate him. Jake's bigger, yes, but Tank has faced far bigger challenges before. Those stories prove Tank is used to climbing tall mountains. Showbiz emphasized that those heavyweights were more skilled and technical than Jake. While Jake Paul has improved tremendously, evolving from influencer to real boxer, he's still learning the basics. Tank, on the other hand, has been fighting top-tier talent since his teens.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, you know, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting him out. No, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring. And that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank Davis has already made up his mind about his future. He's done fighting at 135 pounds. Cutting that much weight took too much out of him. He wants to stay fresh and strong, which is why he's moving up to 140 pounds. The new weight suits his body and mindset perfectly. After the Jake Paul fight, Tank plans to remain a full-time super lightweight, aiming to dominate this division. Fans think the extra weight might give Jake an advantage. But Tank sees it differently. He believes his body performs best here. Better stamina, more endurance, and even more knockout power. If he could deliver spectacular knockouts at 135, imagine the destruction he can unleash at 140. This might be the scariest version of Gervonta Davis yet, and Jake Paul could be the first to experience that power.
Or had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title. But I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all. But usually when guys play with their weight, and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at higher weight classes.
Boxing insider Carmel Moughton gave his opinion, and he's confident Tank wins easily. He says Tank's history of sparring with heavyweights means Jake's size won't bother him at all. Moughton points out that Tank's intelligence and ring IQ completely outclass Jake's raw strength. The difference between them isn't just weight, it's skill. Carmel, who has seen Tank train up close, says his work ethic and talent are on another level. In his words, talent beats size, and skills beat strength. That's exactly what he expects Tank to prove once again.
Tank versus Jake Paul.
I feel like it's going to be a good fight, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're going to see how serious they really take it, but I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so, congrats to them.
What if you had it, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think he kind of be an advantage because he's small and fast? Someone said that. I'm I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly. He gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming. He can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is gonna be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's gonna give him a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or what's going on?
I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? What's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. Floyd's gonna do his thing. Hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? What's next with you, Carmel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting, staying patient, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.
When the fight was first announced, Shakur Stevenson was among the loudest critics. He questioned why a world champion like Gervonta Davis would waste time on a YouTuber turned boxer instead of facing elite professionals. But now, things have changed. Reports suggest Jake Paul offered Shakur a big paycheck to join his training camp, helping him prepare for Davis's fighting style. This sudden move left fans stunned. If Shakur truly believed this fight disrespected boxing, why would he join the very camp preparing for it? It shows how quickly opinions in boxing can change when money enters the equation.
A lot of money to help him in camp, some easy money to come spar somebody or whatever. Go get your money, right? But what's funny to me is for someone who had nothing positive to say about this fight, and someone who was critical of Tank Davis for taking this fight and tried to shit on Tank Davis for taking this fight, he sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of it. He sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of the fight. And then to take that a step deeper and a step further, for someone who doesn't want to talk about Tank Davis anymore, he sure is making moves to ensure that he is continued to be mentioned with Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson is not stupid. The new firm that he hired to do his PR work and get him to do these interviews and try to enhance his brand, they not stupid. Jay Prince not stupid. Josh Dubin not stupid. The people around Shakur Stevenson have been building social media brands, building boxers, and building talent in different industries at the same time. I mean, for a long time. They know how this shit works. They not dumb. They know the conversation that is going to surround Shakur helping Jake Paul. Tank Davis' biggest rival going to camp to help Jake Paul. If Jake Paul has any kind of success in the fight, Jake Paul was successful because Shakur Stevenson is on a different level and he helped prepare Jake Paul for the fight with Tank. That's why Jake Paul did so good. They know this, bro. And to me, that's the problem that I always have with these guys like Shakur Stevenson. You can throw Lamont Roach in there. You can throw Devin Haney in there, bro. You can throw Keyshawn Davis in there if you want to. My issue is they won't admit what it is. And I guess it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing, because I get it, bro.
Offset, the rapper and boxing enthusiast, shared a different take. He believes Jake Paul's natural size and strength could give him a real chance to win. The weight gap is clear, and if Jake lands one perfect shot, it could change everything. Still, Offset acknowledges that Gervonta Davis is a special kind of fighter, one who slips punches, counters instantly, and frustrates opponents with speed and precision. To Offset, this fight is a clash between raw size and elite technique, a powerful challenger versus a slick, disciplined champion.
You saw Jake Paul and Tank Davis?
I don't understand how that's happening, though.
I mean, that's kind of what Jake Paul does, right?
That nigga's 7'8". 6'7". I'm not saying 7'8". Like, the nigga's 6'4".
So you think Jake wins?
Yes.
This is kind of like the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. And Mayweather, he got the better of Logan for sure. I think Logan's even bigger.
Than Jake? Fuck no.
Logan's bigger than Jake, yeah.
He
like
is?
bigger, yeah. But Jake's now a more experienced boxer than probably Logan was at that time.
I don't know. That weight shit, man, that shit is a real thing.
What's the odds on that shit? I wonder.
It's
Not out yet?
Who do you think gonna win out of Canelo?
I don't really follow boxing like
Canelo,
that.
man. I like my boy, but Canelo just
Canelo's a beast.
He not old. He still got it. He hit hard as a motherfucker. And then like the fighters he fought and lost to was some dogs though. Like most people won't get in the ring with him. So it's like I feel like I don't know. Has he got the? I don't know. I feel like he gonna land though. What's that? What's the odds on that?
Oh, listen to this. Davis is minus 205 to beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul's plus 155.
Wow, that's tight odds. Tank Davis is minus 205. Jake Paul's 155 opening odds. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know.
Tank 5'2" though, but it's like he's so short.
Fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying the height difference is
Like,
crazy.
is Jake even gonna be able to hit him? Like,
the
he's
other way
probably so
around.
fast.
He
Tank's
fast,
gonna be able
but
to hit
Tank-
Jake.
He's short though.
Tank's gonna hit him a
5'6"
lot,
or some shit,
right?
How tall is Tank? 5'7"? He's like 6'3". So different. That's
No, I know.
6'3" and big. Now technique, you got him in technique because he's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got to see that fight. That shit sound crazy.
You gamble on football? You sports
He had
bet?
to pay him a lot of money to that fight.
Oh, they're making so much money.
Some boxing analysts argue that most of the criticism aimed at Davis doesn't come from concern for the sport. It comes from jealousy. They believe many fighters envy the position Tank is in today. With this fight set to generate massive money, bitterness among his rivals has only grown. Instead of celebrating his success, they try to tear him down. As these experts say, if they had the same offer Tank has, they'd take it in a heartbeat. The hate, in reality, is just envy in disguise.
Fire. I get the chance to pick a great business mind brain and help give him some game in the process. I'm down. Oh, we know you're down. So for one, you look like you hating on Tank, bro. Like you specifically. Two, this is the same guy that said he's not watching the fight, but now you're somewhat taking part in the fight because you're trying to gather or help prepare Jake Paul for the fight. And then this is what Shakur Stevenson does, in my opinion. Shakur will make questionable choices, do certain things, right? And then afterwards, he'll be like, yeah, now that I got y'all attention, I got everybody mad at me. Bro, the stuff you're doing is weird. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, to me, it's almost close to like Karen behavior, in the sense that Karens, you see some of these Karens and they do all this extra stuff and then act like the victim. And I told you that's one of the main problems with Gen Z, right? Where Gen Z, they will do just weird things, make weird choices, make weird decisions, and then they'll act like, man, I'm Tupac, me against the world, everybody's against me. Everybody's not against you. You're just doing weird things. You're making weird decisions.
is weird behavior, so on and so forth. So let's ultimately recap. We got to do the Boxing Ego recap to see what's really going on here.
Rumors about the fight purse have also taken center stage. Reports suggest both fighters could earn anywhere between $20 and $40 million. Believable figures for a spectacle this big. But when some outlets claim the payouts could reach $200 million each, analysts start to doubt. It sounds too good to be true. While the event is massive and attention is sky high, such gigantic numbers feel unrealistic. For now, the true amount remains unknown. Impressive, but uncertain. That wraps up today's boxing update. Stay tuned for more news, reactions, and analysis from the fight world. Until next time, keep your guard up and your passion alive.